Right, the next job is the guttering. So we've got one side of the guttering down, and this is the first joint, which basically has been overlapped on this seam here. So we've opened the seam up to overlap it, and then we've done the same on this side, so this seam's been overlapped as well. So that keeps the two quite rigid together, and then you just have tape inside to make sure no water can go backwards uphill, which obviously it shouldn't do anyway, but it just creates a situation where the water's always going to flow past that joint. The only trouble with working with this metal is it's quite sharp, and in the process of opening up the seam that I'm working on now, I've sliced 3 fingers. But hey ho, we'll get all this done this afternoon. I think we might even get it back up. So we're starting the prep now for the CPAC floor. We've added water to each section to get the sand to compact down. All these sections were full up to the top with sand before the water was added, and they've all gone down between 5 and 10 centimetres. I'm going to finish off preparing one side of the guttering today. Hopefully later on today we'll get that up, and we'll do the other side some other time once the side of the house is cleared and we can get the scaffolding towers into place. Looking good. We've just got to reduce the height of these blocks because these 2 bathrooms will be 5 centimetres lower than the rest of the house. Got the gutters fitted on this side now, so the joints are much neater. Looking very neat now. Just got one section to put some more sand into and tamp it down, and then we need to get the shuttering around the edges. Another day at the office. So what's happening today is that the shuttering is going to be placed around the outside, and the ladies are moving this soil that's been dug out of the poo hole so we can get the right level around the house. Start to generally get things in the right place and get things tidied up. So what this guy's doing is he's been drilling holes in the concrete ring beam, and he'll place steel in them to support the shuttering. So they're just debating how to fix these boards, because a couple of the sections of the sides bowed out when they made the ring beam due to the amount of concrete and the weight of it. So he's actually twanged a red line here. He's twanged a red line, which is the straight line between the edges of the post, and you can see that it bowed out about 4 centimeters in the middle, and obviously that's going to create a problem when they not when they build a wall. They can build that straight, but when they come to plaster, render the outside. Got the same problem down this side, unfortunately. This one's bowed out very, very slightly. This one you can probably see it's bowed out a lot, and also the one after it, if I line up the camera with the posts. It's all fixable. It just means that when they come to render the lower part of the wall at the end, they're going to have to cut out or get rid of the bowed parts. It's just a bit of extra work, but that comes with the territory, really. Centray is letting her cows take advantage of the grass overgrowth in the next door neighbour's field. There is no cultivation of crop here, it's just grass that's grown up, a lot of which is from budgie seed waste that we've chucked down here. She's got a couple more babies. So she's got 9 cows now, and she's got 2 more pregnancies. There's one, that cow there, right at the end. I think she's the next one that's due. Okay, for what it's worth in Thailand, this is my attempt at a damp-proof membrane. Now, I don't think this sort of system is used at all in Thailand. And depending on where you're building and the circumstances of the ground, you may or may not get damp coming up the walls and through the floors, but I don't think it happens very often. I think Thailand is more prone to very short-term flooding rather than rising damp, as it were. And our house is going to be, well, it's 40 centimetres off the ground level now, which is about 1 metre higher than the surrounding ground, the fields and the road. So this is a precaution because it only cost about 2,300 baht for this roll of plastic. But I don't think it's really essential. It's not a proper damp-proof membrane, it's just a thick plastic. It's the nearest I could find. And as I say, it's really just a sort of added safeguard. It's not particularly well fitted. Obviously damp could come up the posts because we haven't put it underneath where the posts are mounted, so it's nothing like a European or American standard, for those of you that might want to make a negative comment about it. But it is some sort of attempt to keep any wet from penetrating the subfloor, which is going to be 10 centimetres thick anyway, so it would have to be a substantial amount of water to get through that even. So the next job is to get the wire mesh in place, and then hopefully tomorrow we'll actually have the CPAC arriving and all the areas in black you can see will be done. And then the following day we will do the remaining area here, which is the outside terrace, if you like, which will be 5 centimetres lower than the house floor, and the bathrooms, which will be 5 centimetres lower than the house floor as well.